The Toronto Raptors get absolutely embarrassed by the New York Knicks 117-101 in Toronto, and they are officially eliminated from the NBA Emirates Cup tournament. This was a tough one to watch, ladies and gentlemen. I have to admit, I got to admit, this one was a tough one to watch because the only thing that we saw good come out of this game was the first quarter. And then after the first quarter, it was all downhill from there. But before we get into this, let me point some things out if you haven't already, watched the highlights of this game or heard any podcasts or other shows about this already. First of all, Emmanuel quickly did not play. Let's point that out. Emmanuel quickly did not play. He was out due to illness. Jamal Shed got the start for Emmanuel quickly. And also Barrett, as you know, is still not in the lineup. And Ochai Agbaji got the start for RJ Barrett. And he was coming off of his best game of the season against the Boston Celtics. So, first of all, when this game started, Ingram started this game on a mission. He had 6 points in the first 4 minutes of the game, pretty much off jump shots, free throws. And at one point, it was actually looking pretty good because Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble. He got 2 fouls with 7:23 remaining in this game with an elbow to Scotty Barnes. And so we're all thinking, this is fantastic. We got Karl Anthony Towns going to the bench, which is a good thing because we know the type of havoc that he can create, the damage that he can cause being out there on the floor. So seeing him going to the bench is a good sign early in the game, right? You would think. And then Shed puts up a floater. He had 2 points, and the Raptors went on a 7-0 run. And with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter, they were up 15-11. And now we had a bunch of people checking as well. Because remember on the last podcast, we talked about the Raptors are going to have to count on some depth here because they got guys missing. We need energy. So Chucky Hepburn, he checks into the game with 5:33 remaining. But at this point, Jalen Brunson just starts going crazy. And I mean crazy. He starts making shots from everywhere. From everywhere. He played 39 minutes in this game. He had 35 points, 13 of 19 from the field, 6 of 9 from three-point range, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. He was a flamethrower in this game. Brunson had 13 of the first 19 points for the New York Knicks. And as I mentioned, he was making shots from everywhere. The quarter continues. He had 20 out of the Knicks' first 28 points in this game. You heard me correctly. 20 out of the Knicks' 28 points.
This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
There was no stopping him. Absolutely no stopping him tonight. It was brutal because the thing about Jalen Brunson that makes him so damn good is because he's not extremely, he is strong. He is strong, don't get me wrong, but he's just crafty. He just has skill. He's not extremely fast, not necessarily athletic, but he just knows how to get to his spots, knows how to use his body, knows how to use the strength that he has. And he is shifty. He can get to the basket, throw up the floater, hit you from long range, get to the free throw line. I mean, the guy just does it all offensively. He's 7th coming into this game, 7th in the league in scoring. And overall, he's just tough to stop. He's just tough to stop. I mean, at this point, if you don't throw a double team at him, you're pretty much cooked. You're pretty much cooked. And the Raptors weren't throwing the double team at him, at least not early on. And he was cooking dudes, just cooking people. Ingram at the same time in this game had 12 points, 12 of the Raptors' first 26 points. Then he had 15 out of the Raptors' 31 points. And Ingram finished the quarter with 17 points, Jalen Brunson with 20. So it kind of became a shootout between the both of them in that first quarter. Raptors had a 4-point lead. It was 39-35 at the end of the first quarter. And I thought Jamal Shed, who got the start for Emmanuel quickly, I thought he did a pretty good job controlling the tempo, especially in that first quarter. He had 34 minutes in this game, 18 points, 6 of 15 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3-point range. He had 3 rebounds. He had 8 assists and a steal, only 1 turnover. I thought Jamal Shed did a pretty good job throughout this game for the most part, but it's just really, really tough asking him to go up against a guy like Jalen Brunson. That's nasty work to ask him to do that. But he held his own. He held his own, and so I'm going to give him some respect there. Now, early in that second quarter, Scotty Barnes picked up his 3rd foul, or so we thought. Coach Darko Rajakovic did challenge it, and it was overturned. And from here on out, this is where my notes start to slow down, because there are a bunch of things that were just not going right for the Raptors. And when I was watching them, it just a step behind, looking slow, getting punked, bodied, battered by the Knicks. It was tough to watch, man. 19-4 run to start the second quarter. 19-4 run by the New York Knicks to start that second quarter. With 5:12 remaining, it was 54-43 for the Knicks. And Jakob Poeltl, I was hoping that we would get a little bit more out of him. I mean, don't get me wrong. He did do his job. 25 minutes, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals in this game. He was 5 of 7 from the field. We know he's typically efficient shooting from the field. But one thing that's tough about watching Jakob Poeltl, and something that we have to admit, from an offensive standpoint, he's extremely limited, which we all know and we're okay with. But in order for him to really get buckets and be aggressive around the rim, whoever your point guard is going to have to spoon feed him. And not just necessarily your point guard. A lot of the time it could be Scotty Barnes. It could be your perimeter guys as well. But you got to spoon feed him by the basket. Either go and pick and roll, you're breaking down the defense, you drop it off to him in the dunker spot, and he can get some points there. But if that isn't open for Jakob Poeltl, he ain't scoring. If he ain't getting an offensive rebound, he ain't really going to be able to put the ball in the basket like that. He can't shoot it from 12 feet. He has a nice little push shot from maybe 6-7 feet. But outside of there's nothing he can really do to put the ball in the basket. If you're not spoon feeding him or he's getting an offensive rebound and putting it back up, I mean, you're kind of toast. He had 4 offensive rebounds in this game. So that's the thing that's been tough about Jakob Poeltl. He can't create his own shot. Give him the ball to back down. He can't do that either. He really can't. So finding ways and easier ways to score on the inside from your bigs, that's something the Raptors are going to have to look at, because you want to be able to dump it in there sometimes and get efficiency, get some scoring from your big men around the basket. If you can. Now let's look at some of these points in the paint. 44, 42 for the Raptors in this game. I'll go over some numbers. I spoke to you about Brandon Ingram. At least, did I? Let me go over it again if I did not. 39 minutes in this game, 31 points, 11 of 18 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3-point range, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, did have 3 turnovers, but Brandon Ingram balled out in this one. He did. Scotty Barnes wanted to see a bit more points on the board, but the Raptors are really going to have to look at their offense, man, because once again, droughts, and then at times the offense just looks stagnant. They look confused. Like, give it to somebody and go ISO. No, you got to figure something out with this damn offense. 37 minutes in this one, 13 points from Scotty Barnes, 6 of 18 from the field, 1 of 6 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in this one. Ochai Agbaji, who got the start, 26 minutes, 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point range, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. And the way that we talked about depth and we were going to need people from the bench to chip in, didn't get it much aside from Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl, I thought, did a pretty good job subbing into the game. 18 minutes in this one, 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 6 from three-point range. Remember the last show we did? We said, what does Jakobi have to do? He's got to bring energy. He's got to play defense. He's got to make threes. And he did that. I thought he did that tonight. So we got to give credit where credit is due. Grady Dick was just kind of useless in this one, to be completely honest with you. Not a great game from Grady Dick. 8 minutes in this one, 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from three-point range, 1 rebound. He had 2 turnovers, didn't really do much out there. Chucky Hepburn, we did mention, played 8 minutes. I mean, did as good as he can do for the minutes that he played and checking into the game. AJ Lawson, 2 points in this one, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and the rest, everybody else is pretty much just garbage minutes. Mobo, Garrett Temple, Elijah Martin, Colin Murray-Boyles, he did play in this one as well. 22 minutes, 6 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Gave you a block shot as well, but just overall not enough from the Raptors. And to be completely honest, you know, I was one of those guys a couple podcasts ago that said if the Raptors were completely healthy, I believe that they were a better team than the Knicks. I take that back. The Knicks are just flat out better than the Raptors at this point and just tougher. Like the Raptors, I still don't see the toughness and the grit from them. And I don't know how you're going to be able to get it out of this group. I don't know if you're going to be able to get it out of this personnel. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see where this goes in the next, 10, 12 games, right? Raptors are 15-11, so they've played 26 games. Let's maybe reevaluate this again in another 9 games after 35 games and see where it is. And then we can go from there in regards to toughness and rebounding and not being pushed around and punked by the opposition, right? So let's get to the third quarter here. Raptors come out the gate slow. Josh Hart goes for 9 points in the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds of the quarter. You heard me correctly. He had 36 minutes in this game, 21 points. He was 8 of 11 from the field, 4 of 7 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. He carved the Raptors up. Carved them up. They couldn't do anything. Couldn't stop him. He was just it looked like target practice for a lot of the Knicks going up against the Raptors. And I tried to be that guy to hold the faith and give the Raptors a chance here. But things just did not look good after that first quarter. And I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to be one of those guys who comes out and pretends and keep the faith. And no, they got their ass kicked. Like, it wasn't good. Did not look good. And to be completely honest with you, and I'm sure a lot of you felt the same way as well. In that second quarter, going into halftime and then coming back, those early minutes in the third quarter, even going back to the second quarter, you pretty much knew this game was a wrap, at least in my opinion. You knew it was a wrap. And that's the unfortunate part. Like sometimes you can be down, but you still hope that, maybe you can fight back. No, not in this one. Not in this one. And I have here, like, Colin Murray-Boyles like him a lot, but damn it, he's got to start to run the floor hard. There was a few possessions out in the open court where I thought he could have gotten the ball if he was running the court hard, and I just didn't see it. Just didn't see it. He looks, I don't know, just lackadaisical at times, and not to pick on him, but I mentioned it's the small things at times, the small things with a bunch of different players. But that, for some reason, just stuck out to me and drove me nuts the way he was running the floor soft tonight. I mean, 83-69 with 4:11 remaining in that third quarter. The Raptors were down 14. And I was hoping for the Raptors to just be extremely aggressive on the glass. And we were out rebounded 48-37 in this game. And really concerning, because when you look at what the Knicks are capable of from a rebounding standpoint, the Knicks are the only team with two players having 65 plus offensive rebounds in the league, which is Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns. And so after that third quarter, the Raptors were down 15, 94-79. And then we get into the fourth quarter, and I pretty much have no notes except a couple things that really, really pissed me off when I was watching this game. There was two plays there where Grady Dick had the ball in the open court and was dribbling towards the basket and lost the ball, kind of got bumped at the same time, and it just went flying out of his hand. And there was another play where Jakob Poeltl gets the ball, and instead of dishing it to one of his guards or whoever's around, decides he wants to dribble in transition up the court, loses the ball, slams into, I can't remember if it was Mikal Bridges or Josh Hart, gets called for the charge on top. Like,
how do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
This was a tough one to watch. There will be games like this. We're early. Well, we're not really early on in the season anymore. We played 26 games. What I'm saying is we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. And I'm sure a lot of you heard this, because I heard this as well. And it was reported by one ESPN Sham Charania. The Raptors are one of the teams that may be looking to pursue Anthony Davis. Yes, you heard that correctly. I said that the Raptors are looking like they're going to be pursuing Anthony Davis if he becomes available, which it looks like he probably will be. That's a whole different story in and of itself. And we will get there shortly with another podcast. At Mike Roach 7 on IG, at Mike Roach 23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Okay, thank you all for the love and support that you all have been showing the show. I appreciate it. And, we're going to grow this thing one show at a time. One show at a time. Make sure as well, you guys, you got to give me some names, because I'm trying to shout you guys out. I'm trying to give you guys some shout outs on some shows coming up. Okay, and I got a good episode dropping for you guys tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Make sure you pay attention to that. I got a good one for you. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mike Roach Podcast. Raptors officially eliminated from the NBA Emirates Cups tournament. They get manhandled by the New York Knicks 117-101. This is the Mike Roach Podcast. I'll be back again soon. Peace. And I'm out.